Oh, control.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Siva. How are you?
Yeah, fine, sir. Fine.
So I sent one scenario, live scenario. Now you need to explain that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get the idea? What is that? I'll
Yes,
explain
yes.
you. I'll explain you. There is a financial institution. That financial institution has got multiple branches globally across the globe. Now those offices, they have employees working for business. At the end of the day, every financial institution, they consolidate the balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet means credit, debit, such kind of transactions from different accounts. Now let us say bank is a global bank. Bank can do transactions for a same customer in different countries also. You take a Citibank. Citibank is a global bank. Federal Bank, you take it. It is a global bank. Such kind of banks can do transactions globally with the same customer account. Okay. Now, balance sheet need to be there with all the daily transactions. That balance sheets, they need to consolidate it, send to next business day of the branch. They need to use that data and consolidate the local data. That is the requirement. Now, in such case, let us say you are there in Mumbai. Okay. In Mumbai, you are working for Federal Bank or some other bank as business person in the bank. Now, what you need to do, you need to consolidate the sheet and share it to other users in North America or let us say Europe countries. Such situations, if they want to get your sheet in cloud itself, AWS cloud, how the storage options can be used. You have different storage options in AWS.
Yes.
This requirement, how we can use a solution.
Okay. So in this,
right, completely.
Yeah. Basically, we have different AWS services for the storage option, like S3 bucket and EFS and EBS also. But I can conclude with the S3 bucket. I will use S3 bucket for this scenario. If I use the S3 bucket, so how can we set up that particular rule in this scenario? So let us see that first one.
Okay.
Suppose if for the different regions of the branches, so first I will create different users. Let us take two users. I create first. The first of all, I will create two users with the
let us say hold on. Let us say they have user IDs already.
Okay.
Normally, what happens? Region-wise, they'll have accounts, AWS accounts. In the region-wise accounts, this region, Mumbai region, you are there, and other people are there in different regions. So they have their own AWS account. So, how you are going to use that? And what kind of access permissions they need to have, both people?
Okay. So if I am using S3 bucket, so they need to have the S3 full permissions.
Okay.
The users need to have the S3 full permission in the IAM rule. Then let us first we need to create the buckets, two buckets for the two users. Then if I create the buckets, while creating the buckets, we should enable the version of the bucket in order to share the files in between the two regions, different regions. What are the regions are available?
Okay.
So if we need to enable that versioning of the buckets in order to connect with different source and destination buckets. So for that we need to enable the versioning. After that, what we are going to do, we need to apply the cross-region replication rule in between the two buckets. So how I'm going to create the CRR rule. Means first of all, whatever you have created the buckets, so first you go to one bucket, source bucket. So inside the bucket there is one option like permissions and management tab. So just go into that bucket management tab. So on the management tab you have the one create a replication rule is option is available inside the bucket. So you can, when you click on the create replication rule bucket, there you have the options like you need to configure the other bucket name region, different region name bucket. You should specify that bucket name along with the IAM role also inside the source bucket. So that is the you need to mention inside the source bucket. So it will establish the connection CRR rule between the source and destination buckets. So whenever you have any files are updated, then that files should be shared into destination bucket also.
Okay. Then now once it is shared by you, how the other user is going to get it? What options he need to use in his bucket?
So once
that
the
also
user
need to be get there, right?
Once the user,
let us say you are in Mumbai, other user is in somewhere in Virginia or something.
okay.
Now you have done the CRR setup for your bucket to give access to other users. So what options they need to use to access that object in other side, destination user?
They just go to the bucket, their bucket inside the bucket, and they can access the files by using the public, by making that public access.
By making the bucket as a public or object as a public?
Objects as a public.
Okay. Now let us say they made the public. Now is it going to be accessible only, or this guy can modify the file?
That is depends on the rule we are going to create inside the bucket.
Let us say now in objects you can make versions, in bucket you can create object versions also within the bucket. Am I right? In S3.
Yes.
Now let us say you have given the access to that user, but that user need to upload the another file and share to the same to you in the evening of their time. That is also requirement. Vice versa, you both need to share it. His file will come as a new version to you. Your file will go as a new version in the next day. Like that, the business need to happen it. Now, how they need to do, the Virginia people?
So once they get the files from the source bucket, then by making the objects are public, they can open that files and they can modify that content from the destination bucket. From there,
right, but with your current explained options, can they really open and upload the version into the bucket? Because you did not mention the version. The object can be there just to read only, or CRUD options also can be made for the other users. So did you make that CRUD options within the IAM role and CRR screen?
Yes, we need to configure that operation while setting up the
right?
CRR. Yes. So we need to mention that specification inside while creating the CRR rule.
Yeah, you have to create, right? You from your end you need to create and give the access to that object. Now that user will have access. Let us say now he will make another version. Now how it is going to appear to you? Is it like you need to apply a CRR separately for that object, or with that option only you will be able to see? You will be able to see from Mumbai.
Again, you need to apply the CRR rule.
CRR rule.
Yes.
Okay, the same options you need to apply in each bucket. Sharing options.
Yes, yes.
Okay, right. Now, what are the other storage options you have in AWS? Let us say now S3CRR is one option to share the files. There are different options you can use it, right?
Yes,
Storage
yes.
services. What all you know?
Other apart from the S3, we have EBS and EFS services are also available. So
through them also you can share the files or what?
Through EFS, we can able to share the files.
Both on Windows network and Linux network.
I think EFS is work on only Linux environments.
Have you done any proof of concept on EFS?
Yes, yes. We have done one POC and particular share the files in between the two developers by giving the access to the network file shares.
Okay. In the next session, in the next interview session, to come back with that scenario, let us discuss the options for that. Okay. Now let us stop it and we'll close this session.